Welcome to another edition of Secrets of the Super Rich Friday. I'm your host, Tim McNeely, and I am so excited that you are here with me right now. And wow, do we have some great stuff for you today. And if you're like many of us right now, you may find yourself working at home. And if you're like many of us, you may also feel like you're just kind of losing your mind right now. And that's what today is about. I want to give you some insights so that you can really live your best life no matter where you are. And we're going to cover three quick things today. Number one, the big takeaways. You want to arm yourself with video and other collaboration technology. Number two, you want to set up a dedicated workspace so that it's absolutely ergonomic as possible for you. And number three, good work routines. You want to establish those. You really want to watch your communication style. So let's get into this and let's get started. So when it comes to the best practices from working at home, you really want to consider the gear that you have. And part of successfully working from home, part of successfully telecommunicating is going to make sure that you can conduct business smoothly, no matter where you are, and you can do so while maintaining that office-like atmosphere. That means you've got to be armed with the right stuff for success. And for technology, at the bare minimum, you're going to want to have a great computer, a monitor, headset, along with all the cybersecurity software and storage backup solutions that you may need. You're going to also want to pay and really upgrade to the fastest possible interconnection, the internet connection that you can get, so that your e-meetings don't freeze up during peak time. Also, depending on how professional you want to appear on camera, you may want to even consider investing in a high quality microphone and some good lighting. Little details like that, they can really help you be perceived as more credible and the expert that you are. The next thing that you want to consider is your space, right? What is the space that you're working in looks like, right? You want to get that right environment for working at home. That means dedicated workspace. It could be a separate room with a door, which is ideal. It could be part of your living room or even a kitchen counter. But the key is to define one space that sends a message to you, and this is important, and your family, that if you're around from 9 to 5, this is where work happens. And you want to clearly delineate that space. And by doing that, it's going to help you focus and really step away from work at the end of the day. For me, I've got a detached home office. It's great. I can come out here, I can work, I can shoot videos for you, I can share content, I can do all my meetings, I can meet with my clients. And then when I'm done, I leave work behind. And that's so important for you to consider also. Next, just here's a little pro tip. Don't set up shop in your bedroom or on your couch if you can help it. Why? You want to leave those spaces as really non-work and relaxation areas. You're going to want them around so you can unwind. Next, you want to consider your habits, right? Your habits are so important. All that said, a high-end microphone, fancy chair in a room, great view, it's not going to matter unless you establish and follow smart working at home habits. Some of the major do's and don'ts that you want to consider is number one, set firm boundaries, right? We talked about this a little bit earlier. Make it clear that when the door to your home office is closed, you are closed for family and personal business. You might even consider hanging some blinds or another covering if your family can see into your office, right? If you find yourself working in an exposed space, or if you have children at home while you're working, boundaries, they absolutely get trickier, right? Your son, your daughter, they're going to want to spend time with you. But one solution is get some noise canceling headphones. That's going to help communicate that you're not to be disturbed. So important, right? You want to create boundaries. Number two, you really want to create some routines, and you want to be able to stick with those routines, right? This is going to require some trial and error. It's going to require you getting adjusted to the new normal that's out there. At any rate, try to start and end your workday at the same time to mentally help separate your professional and professional times. You might even want to try to take a morning walk or run as your new commute to really help shift you into that work mode. Of course, much of your schedule may be dictated by others, morning meetings, end of day check-ins, so on. Try to work collaboratively with your bosses and your peers to arrange schedules that are going to work for everyone. Number three, be able to show your work, right? Despite that evidence of working at home and being productive. In fact, one 2019 study showed that telecommuters work 1.4 days more every month, or 16.8 more days per year than people who work in an office, right? Working at home, highly effective. But bosses often fret that at-home workers are not going to stay focused or driven. So consider erasing those doubts by creating viewable online task or a tracker that's going to show others the current state of your work. This may already be made for you, but you're going to get some bonus points by doing that, by really showing that you are working. Number 4, you want to revisit those remote communication skills, right? Ideally, your boss, your team leader, they should spell out some communication protocols. But if that's not happening, it's up to you. You're going to want to take those reins. You want to develop clear expectations for daily communication within your team. You're going to want to remove those distant related barriers by doing video calls, by doing meetings to make those conversations even more rich. Check your stone and your tile too. Body language does not come through with email. Instant messages, sarcasm, be really tough to recognize. So take a minute to read and reread those communications before you send them. Number 5, stay connected beyond business. So important to remember in the midst of this pandemic. One of the perks of office life that gets lost with remote working is really that camaraderie that you're going to have among your peers, the in-person bonding that occurs in the office just isn't a nicety. It helps build those strong teams, helps pull you and everyone towards those same goals. And the ability to really have those casual moments can spark creative ideas and problem solvings that don't always happen in formal meetings. These video-based happy hours, pizza parties, birthday celebrations, where everyone can dial in, they can help you feel connected so that everyone is in this together. And so what's the conclusion? What can we draw about this? Well, remains seen, you're right, it really remains to be seen if this pandemic is going to personally shift your working patterns. It's certainly impossible that remote working, it's certainly possible that this remote working, it's going to be part of the new normal in the years ahead. So if you take some steps now, right, if you start working on this right now, you're going to find that you can create some great habits, you're going to create some great routines, and in that process, you're going to really be able to set yourself and your team up for success no matter where you do your work. Tim McNeely, thank you for tuning in again to another Secrets of the Super Rich. Oh, I'm so tired. See, that's my day. Super Rich Fridays. I'm Tim McNeely. I'm your host. I'm in your corner. Now get out there and make it a great weekend.